Hello everyone, you are watching Code with Shivajit, and today we will be solving a very interesting problem, which is the 287th problem of Lead Code medium series, find the duplicate number. Let me explain you the problem and then we can go through the code. So if you see, we have an array of integer nums containing n plus 1 integers, where each integer is in the range of 1 to n inclusive. Inclusive means 1 and n both are included. Okay, so let's take an example. We have this 13422. What's the size of it? The size of it is 5. It means that the values which are actually which can be put here is 1 to 4. And when you put 1 to 4, there is one number which will be at least one number which will be duplicated. There can be more than one as well. Okay, doesn't matter. But there should be at least one number which will be duplicated because the size is 5, and if we have to put numbers between 1 to 4, then at least one has to be duplicated. Okay, now in this case, if you see, all are the values 3. Okay, this can also have 3 3 2 2 1 or 3 2 2 2 1, something like that. I hope you understand that, right? So we have to return, there is only one repeated array in nums, okay, and we have to return this repeated number. So in this case we have 2, in this case we have 3, and in this case the repeated number is 3 as well. Okay, so I hope that you have got a basic idea of the problem. Let's go to our OneNote to understand it more. Okay, so let's take an array as mentioned. Okay, so we have an array, let's say 2 3 1 2 4, size of 5, and 1 2 3 4, values range from 1 to 4. Okay, the brute force approach which is coming to my mind is, why not just sort it? If we sort it, the array will become 1 2 2 3 4. Okay, and we run through the array. After running through the array, what we will see, that whenever at ith index we are, and we see that okay, the I plus 1th index is same as ith index, at that case we will break the loop and we will return a true. Okay, return a true, not return a true, but return this number. Okay, because this is the duplicate number, and we are also given that there will be only one duplicate number, not multiple duplicate numbers. Okay, so that's why the moment we encounter that, we can return it, and that should be the answer. But the time complexity in this case will be big O of n log n for the sorting, plus big O of n for one more traversal for finding the duplicate number. Okay, let's try to optimize a little bit more on the time complexity. This is the first solution which I can think of. What is the second solution which is coming to my mind? If I can provide some extra space, if I have some extra space, then I can think of a hash map. What is a hash map? Let me tell you. So basically, hash map is a store of key value pairs. Okay, so it's basically a store of key value pairs. Okay, like this. Now, if I see this case, I need one more. Okay, if I see this case, this is the hash map. Okay, this is the hash map. Now, whenever I encounter, I will run through this array. Okay, single traversal. Whenever I encounter number 2, okay, I will put 2 in the key. The value will be the count of that key. Presently it has occurred once, so the count is 1. That is the number of times it has occurred. Now 3 is a new number. I will put it in the hash map as a key, and the occurrence is 1. 1, the occurrence is 1. Now again 2 comes. Okay, now again 2 comes. So 2 is already there. I will increment the counter to 2 because it has appeared 2 times now inside the array. And the moment we see that someone is greater than 1, the counter is greater than 1, it means that it's duplicate. We can return that element. So we'll be returning this 2. Okay, this 2 will be returning. So here also, if you see, we will be having a time complexity of big O of n, but we will be having a space complexity as well of big O of n. Right, we will be having a space complexity of big O of n. The time complexity I have taken big O of n. I'm just currently ignoring the time complexity to put and search elements inside the hash map. I'm just taking for the traversal part. Okay, so these are the, this is the brute force approach which I can think of. This is the optimal, not the optimal, the better approach which I can think of from the brute force. And now let's get deeper into the actual solution, which is the optimal solution, uh, which doesn't take extra space as well, which traverses the array once and will complete in big O of n time and big O of one space. Before that, I just want to um, give you a little idea what I'm gonna do. So if you see, we have this 2 3 1 2 4. Let's take that only. I will give the index to that as well, because that is really important in this case, because I will be playing with the index only currently. Okay, let me change it to black again. So I will start from here. So I will run a for loop. I will start from here. So what my for loop will look like: for I is 0, I is less than n, a normal standard for loop which will run through this whole array. Let's say this is the ARR. Okay, this is the ARR. Okay, now what we will do, we will actually see. Okay, let's focus on the main task. Our main task is what? It's to understand that we have duplicate elements. So this 2 is a duplicate element here. Okay, we have to find out that. How can we play with the indexes to find out that? Okay, let me do something which will actually give you an idea what I'm gonna do in the for loop. Okay, so let's say I'm at index 0. I will take whatever value is inside that. This is 2. I will go to that index, the 2 whatever values, I will go to that index and I will mark the value whatever it is as negative of that value. By this, what I'm doing? By this, what I'm doing is whatever value we have, okay, to that index, we are making it negative. Okay, that you have to understand. Now, giving you the intuition right now. So now, when I will encounter some again the value 2 inside the array, then again it will go to this index and it will mark it as negative. Okay, while marking it as negative, it will check whether it is negative from previous operation. If yes, it means that there is definitely a 2 which is already making it negative. I hope you are able to get the intuition. Just think once more, rewind the video if you are not able to understand. I will go through it once again. This is a very important part to be understood. Okay, let's say we are at index 0. We will take the value whatever is there. We will go to that index, that is index 2, and then what we will do, we will mark the value in that as -1. Now the thing is, whenever we encounter the value 2 again, we will go to that index and we will try to mark it as negative, but it is already negative. It means that the index, okay, this 2, it means the inside the array there is already a 2 present before, so that's a duplicate. How will I curate the logic for that? So what I'm doing, I will be having a index variable which will be the absolute value of the ARR of I. Why I'm taking the absolute value, I will let you know later. But currently, because there can be negative values as well. And for index, we can't have negative values, right? So let's say for this 2, we are going here, right? If it was initially -2 as well, let's say someone has done -2, okay? But we want the index for that part. So index for that part will only come when we will make it plus, okay? So we will make it +2. Okay, we got the index now. Now what is the next step? We will check that if the ARR of that index, is it greater than 0? If it is greater than 0, then we are fine. Then what we will do, we will make ARR of this index as negative of ARR of the index. Okay, but if that's not the case, then what will happen? Then it means that ARR of index is less than 0. It means that someone has already made a -1 before. It means the index 2, the value 2 has already occurred inside the array before. So if we have an answer, let's say I have initialized an answer and I have initialized it to -1, let's say initially, and this answer will store the actual value which is getting duplicated. So this answer will be equal to the index, and I will break from the loop. Okay, and this is the whole whole condition, like the actual logic. Now if I go through the array, you will be able to understand, but I will have to change the array a bit, because then you will be able to understand properly what I'm trying to do. Let's say we have a 3, we have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 4, and then we have a 2. This is the array. Let's say I will index it out. 0 1 2 3 4. Its name is ARR, and yeah, let's get started with the dry run. I'm at index is equals to 0. I'm running the for loop. Okay, what will be the index? What will be the index? The value of index is absolute value of ARRI, absolute value of 3. So index is 3. Okay, now I will check ARR of 3, that is ARR of 3. Is it greater than 0? 4 is greater than 0? Yes, 4 is greater than 0. In that case, what I will do, I will make the 4 as -4. Okay, okay. Now my I pointer increments here. Okay, now what is the index? Index will be the absolute value of this 1, absolute value of ARR of I, which is 1. So index is 1. Now I will check ARR of index, or surprisingly you will see that it happens to be here only. Okay, so is it greater than 0? No, it's not greater than 0. Then what I will do, I will make it negative. Okay, sorry, I will make it negative. Okay, it was 1, right? Now it points here. Okay, now it points here. Now what is happening? 2. What is at the absolute value is 2 only, right? Absolute value is 2. Now what I will do, at nums of index, that is at nums of 2, what I will do, make it as negative. Fine. Till now I haven't encountered anything which is already negative inside the value. Okay, now the pointer reaches to here, that is 3. Okay, as the pointer reaches to this 3 index, what is ARR of 3? Absolute value of ARRI, absolute value is 4. So index is 4. What is ARR of 4? ARR of 4 is greater than 0. Yes, it is greater than 0. I will make it as negative. Now I come to the last one. Okay, now the last one, what is the index? Index value will be absolute value of ARR of 4, which is absolute value of this -2, which is 2. Now you should be able to understand what is happening. So when it is 2, I will go to the index 2 and I will see, okay, is this positive or negative? So this is negative. It means that this is the answer. It means that someone has made this negative. And who has made this negative? This one has only made it negative. Okay, so it means that 2 has already occurred in the array. This one you can see, and that's why it's already negative, and that's how we are able to understand that this 2 is the culprit and this 2 is the one which is the duplicate. So that's the whole gist of the most optimal solution we have, which we are running through in big O of n time and big O of 1 space. We are not using any extra space. If you see here, only the index variable is there, which is a constant space, and we are running through the loop only once. Okay, now let's code out the solution. First, okay, so let's get started with initializing the answer as -1. I'm initializing the answer as -1 because -1 is a value which cannot be present. That's why I'm initializing a value like that. Okay, now inside the for loop it will definitely get populated because it said that there will be at least one duplicate number. Okay, so for int I is equals to 0, I is less than nums depth length and I plus plus. What I will see, I will check that, okay, int index is equals to absolute value of uh, nums of I. So here it is nums. There I have explained with ARR. Don't get confused with that. They both are the same. So nums of I. And if nums of index, if it is greater than 0, in that case it's totally fine, right? Because nums of index is greater than 0, it means that uh, nums of index is greater than 0, it means that that value hasn't been encountered before, and we can just make it as encountered with the help of this. Okay. Else, if nums of index is less than equals to 0, in that case what is happening is I have to think, because currently it's already negative, right? If that's the case, my answer is index, and I will break from the loop, and I will return that. I think we have to return one. Yeah, so I will return this answer. Let me run the solution. Okay, absolute nums of I method absolute int cannot find symbol. Okay. Okay, so this is math.abs. I was thinking of C++, so that's why. Okay, so I think it should pass. Yeah, it passed all the three test cases. Uh, Now I will encourage you to actually solve this question on your own. First, do a dry run with more examples, just how I have done. Solve it on your own and submit the solution and let all the test cases pass. Okay, then only you will learn. By watching the videos, you will not learn. You have to have a dry run of the example, any example randomly you can take, write the solution to it, submit it, and then the actual learning happens. I hope you like the video. Do comment whatever you are not able to understand. Like if you like the video again, and do share it with your friends. It will definitely be helpful. Thank you. Bye bye.